1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The Chinese government agrees to provide $1.5 billion to Sri Lanka. The government says a decision has not been taken to increase the price of local milk powder. The price of litre gas has not been changed. The first ship carrying 35,000 metric tons of diesel purchased under the aid of India reached the Colombo port this morning. Term tests of the government schools in the Western Province will be conducted as usual. Foreign news, the conditions in the besieged city of Mariupol worsens. Now the news in detail. The Chinese ambassador in Sri Lanka says that his country is ready to provide support needed for Sri Lanka in the present crisis. Accordingly, he said measures will be taken to provide $1.5 billion concessions to Sri Lanka. China is ready to strengthen the existing friendship with Sri Lanka further. China will pursue more investment opportunities in Sri Lanka. Chinese investors have been encouraged to invest in Colombo Port City. The Chinese government will mediate directly for it. He also emphasized that China will provide all assistance needed for Sri Lanka to solve the present economic issues. State Minister D.B. Herath says that the government has not decided to increase the price of local milk powder, although the price of imported milk has been increased. He also said that the necessary instructions have been given to the relevant companies to increase the milk production. However, it has been reported that Palavatta milk powder has increased the price of milk powder. State auditing has pointed out that although the government has instructed to minimize the expenditure of fuel, electricity and finance in state institutions, there is no accountability in this regard. The wastage of fuel, electricity and finance should be minimized. A circular has been issued in this regard. The first ship carrying 35,000 metric tons of diesel purchased under the aid of India has reached the Colombo port this morning. Unloading of diesel has already commenced. Accordingly, distribution of fuel to the filling stations will be conducted from this evening. It has been reported that the demand of kerosene oil has also been increased by 40% due to overusing of kerosene oil by the private buses secretly. Therefore, the Petroleum Corporation is expected to limit the distribution of kerosene oil to the filling stations. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The term tests for grade 9, 10 and 11 of the government schools in the Western Province, which were postponed due to the shortage of printing paper, will be held as previously scheduled according to the Provincial Education Department. The Provincial Director of Education, Mr. P. Srilal Noni, stated that they have been able to obtain the paper required for the printing of question papers. Accordingly, the term tests for grades 9, 10 and 11 students in all schools in the Western Province will commence on the 29th of this month as previously scheduled, and the exams will be held according to the same timetable issued earlier. In addition to this, the term tests for the grades 6, 7 and 8 students will be conducted as usual from today onwards, the Provincial Director of Education added. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera has pointed out that the all-party conference will be convened not to provide advantage to any political party. It will be useful to seek solutions to the present issues of the public. The SLBC has presented a series of proposals to the President in this regard. Senior lecturer of the Colombo University, Dhamma Disanayaka, said that at present the most of the dollars have been spent to purchase fuel. A program should be introduced to minimize fuel consumption. Meanwhile, Petroleum Corporation said that the necessary stock of petrol has been issued to the filling stations. Chairman of the corporation, Sumit Vijayasinghe, said that speedy investigations will be conducted if the filling stations are not issuing fuel. Another round of talks will be conducted today regarding the amendments on train fares. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Filling stations have been advised to provide priority access to ambulances for fuel. Issuing fuel to cans will be limited in the future. The Ministry of Health has notified all the heads of hospitals to take measures immediately to prevent the shortage of gas. The Ministry of Health has requested the gas agents to release the stocks of gas to meet the gas requirements in the hospitals. A decision has not been taken yet to increase the prices of litro gas. Chairman of the Litro Gas Company, Teshara Jaisingh, has said that selling of litro gas at higher prices by anyone is an illegal act. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
More prizes, more gains with CIB New Year offers. Valuable gifts for every bill. 20% discount for bank cards until 10th of April. Visit CIB today.
In Watchlight, the Koggala Road from Madunagala Junction to Madunagala Sanctuary in Suryavava have not been renovated for many years. This will be the shortest way to travel from Suryavava to Ambalantota. The passenger transportation is also not operated. This is for the attention of the engineer of the Hambantota District Office of the Road Development Authority. And that was Watchlight.
More prizes, more gains with CIB New Year offers. Valuable gifts for every bill. 20% discount for bank cards until 10th of April. Visit CIB today.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
No matter what anyone says, for your lease, visit the Leasing Mahagedara. People's Leasing, Friendly Leasing Mahagedara. More information from the nearest People's Leasing branch.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines: the condition in besieged Mariupol worsens. The UN launches project to support internally displaced people in Somalia. South Korea's foreign currency deposit rises in February. Now the world news in detail. The situation in Ukraine is worsening in the eastern city of Mariupol, the site of heavy shelling. The city council says Russian forces have bombed an art school where about 400 residents were taking shelter. Women, children and elderly people remain trapped under rubble. A theatre where many residents took refuge was also destroyed last week. Hundreds are reportedly still under the rubble. On Saturday, the city council accused Russian forces of transporting more than 1,000 civilians across the border against their will. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky spoke with CNN yesterday and reiterated of his willingness to negotiate with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The United Nations and its partners yesterday launched a 4-year project to provide durable solutions for people displaced by conflict and climate change in Somalia. The multi-million project named Samenta, which means impact in Somali language, will achieve durable solutions for more than 75,000 internally displaced persons and valuable host communities in Somalia, the UN said in a joint statement issued in the capital of Somalia. South Korea's foreign currency deposit rose last month due to an increased corporate deposit, central bank data showed today. Deposit denominated in foreign currencies came to $98.14 billion at the end of February, up $4.97 billion from a month earlier, according to the Bank of Korea. It was the first rebound in 3 months as companies increased foreign currency deposits for overseas investment. Corporate deposit in foreign currencies jumped $5.17 billion to $80.81 billion in the cited month, while individuals' deposit fell to $0.2 billion to $17.33 billion. Back to the headlines of the world news. The conditions in besieged Mariupol worsens. The UN launches project to support internally displaced people in Somalia. South Korea's foreign currency deposit rises in February. And that ends world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
For your wheel lease, visit the Leasing Mahagedara. People's Leasing, Friendly Leasing Mahagedara. More information from the nearest People's Leasing branch.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by... Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
20 ancient tanks belonging to the Elanga tank network will be reconstructed in the Yoda Kandia Nimalavalva area in the Tissa Maharama Divisional Secretariat Division. These tanks will be reconstructed based on the Climatic Smart Wari Agricultural Project. And that was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Australia won a crucial toss and elected to bat in a series-deciding third test against Pakistan on a Lahore pitch that is expected to continue the hard toil for bowlers. Batting first, Australia was on 70 runs for 2 wickets in 24 overs short while ago. The Diamond League athletic matches, which is to be held in the future, has been banned for athletes from Russia and Belarus. Earlier, opportunities have been given to the Russian athletes to play in matches under an independent flag. The first Diamond League athletic meet will be held on the 13th of May in Doha. And that is sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Secretary to the State Ministry of Samurdhi Microfinance, Self-Employment and Business Development, Neil Bandara, said that the National Production Village Programme has given a higher contribution to upgrade the rural economy. Enhancing of National Production Village Programme will help to provide more facilities to the rural people. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic News, courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka is now in the process of developing a green finance taxonomy that will provide the framework for investment analysis for the banking sector when funding green projects. Sri Lanka has already recognized that carbon-intensive economic growth is no longer a route for sustainable development and is gradually shifting towards more low-carbon energy sources. And that was Economic News.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Weather Report.
The Met Department says that several spells of light showers will occur in the western, Sabaragamuwa and the central provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in the Uva and eastern provinces after 2 p.m. That was the weather report. And to end this news broadcast, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The Chinese government agrees to provide $1.5 billion to Sri Lanka. The government says a decision has not been taken to increase the price of local milk powder. The price of litro gas has not been changed. The first ship carrying 35,000 metric tons of diesel purchased under the aid of India reached the Colombo port this morning. Term tests of the government schools in the Western Province will be conducted as usual. In foreign news, the conditions in the besieged Mariupol worsens. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and I'll return you back to Asanka this Monday afternoon to continue with the programs. Over to you, Asanka.